United States veterans are trying to receive medical benefits for injuries sustained while working at Area 51. But over the years, they have been denied because the projects they were working on were classified and don't officially exist. This is just so wrong, guys. But it goes into a broader discussion of UFOs and how dangerous they can be, but also just in general how these classified programs operate and the dangers of secrecy overall. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, this is from a report by News Nation.
Now to an update to an exclusive News Nation investigation. Earlier this year, we met a group of veterans who had served in silence, stationed near Area 51 in the 1980s and 90s, guarding some of America's secret weapons programs. Their work so classified that the Department of Defense still won't acknowledge what they did. Now, there may be security reasons for that, but now these veterans say their duty exposed them to a danger that outlasted any mission.
Now, it's important to understand that we're not talking about UFOs necessarily, although we're going to get into that in a minute. We're likely looking at nuclear testing that has gone on there over the years and in that area, and, ionizing radiation and stuff like that as a result of that. I think that's probably what we're looking at. However, as you'll see, it's a little unclear in some of these cases. But I don't want to sensationalize it. But let's listen to this part, and you'll see what I mean.
They keep us classified to protect themselves.
They served at the Nevada Test and Training Range, which encompasses the infamous Area 51. They say they were exposed to radiation and toxins while working top-secret missions. They still can't talk about most of their work on the range. The one operation they can now disclose, guarding the F-117 Nighthawk, America's first stealth bomber.
Of course, some of those, like the stealth bomber can carry nuclear weapons, so that could have been what their exposure is from. It could have been from nuclear testing in the past. So probably not UFO related. However, the secrecy surrounding all of this could have something to do with UFOs, or could be simply to protect these, black projects where they're developing this advanced technology. But the injuries sustained by these guys are just heartbreaking, and their family members too.
Assume it was safe, they still send people there.
Many say they now have cancer, tumors, and serious illnesses, or children born with birth defects. Dave Creet's son, born with a brain tumor.
Those are the most innocent victims.
It was to the point where I felt forsaken. I thought, my God has forsaken me.
Mike Nemsick's 4 bouts with cancer, starting at just 38 years old, have taken a toll. Throat, salivary gland, bladder, and colon.
What was your biggest fear during that period of time?
That I would die and leave a young family without a father, without a provider.
The veterans telling News Nation their medical claims are being denied by Veterans Affairs. The work so top secret, their records are what's called data masked, as if they were never there.
We did good work. We changed things.
Yeah, I really want more information about all of this. They say it's data mask, it's so classified, they still can't reveal some of these projects they were working on. What were these projects? Did it have anything to do with exotic technology? Or are we simply talking about nuclear testing here? Now, as far as UFOs being radioactive, there's good evidence for at least some of these objects being radioactive and causing harm. So we could definitely talk about that. Now, Dr. Hal Puthoff, who probably knows a thing or two about UFOs, did release a scientific paper that I made a video about some time ago, talking about how anomalous craft, UFOs, about how they theoretically operate, right? That's how Puthoff put it. When Hal Puthoff says theoretical, you have to wonder how theoretical that is. But he says that even though these craft are not nuclear powered, they can emit radiation, which is interesting. However, some of these craft do emit radiation. And again, I'm not trying to sensationalize what these guys are experiencing. I think we're probably looking at something more mundane here, but we might not be, and they can't talk about what they are going through or what some of these projects are, which is a frustrating situation. But with the Cash Landrum incident, for example, another case where people try to get restitution from the U.S. government for UFO-related injuries. In that case, it was a human-made and operated craft that was nuclear powered. And the witnesses, Cash and Landrum, were injured. They received radiation illnesses. And they sued the government for $20 million. And they didn't get it, unfortunately, but they tried. And, but that just shows one reason why we do need UFO secrecy. One of many is so these programs can be acknowledged and people can get the restitution they need. But however, there are encouraging signs on that. For example, John Burroughs, who some of you will be familiar with, per Daily Caller, airman wins full VA benefits for UFO radiation exposure. For 30 years, U.S. Airman John Burroughs has been trying to convince the military that after investigating a UFO in Rendlesham Forest, he suffered from massive amounts of radiation and ultimately needed heart surgery. Now, after a long legal battle, the VA is finally giving Burroughs full medical disability for the incident. And I think the late Senator John McCain had something to do with that, interestingly. Now, the VA has not always been as accommodating. Here's a report about this one gentleman who's unnamed, and his claims were denied. He claimed being abducted aboard a U.S. destroyer, a warship, in 1969 and several subsequent events. And he had, oh man, if you read this VA report, it's just a horror show. He just had a horrible life, not just with the alien stuff, but just PTSD and just a messed up life that may have had something to do with these alien abductions that he attributed to his service in the military. And he was trying to get psychiatric disability. He didn't get it. But yeah, reading this VA report is just really, really sad because he did have a messed up life. And then we have this article from Live Science, and this is back when ATIP was making all the news, and this was a FOIA request related to ATIP. Encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even unaccounted for pregnancy, according to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made public through a FOIA. The database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from ATIP, a secretive U.S. Department of Defense program. Despite never being classified as secret or top secret, the ATIP only became known to the public in 2017 when it goes into the ATIP stuff. But there you go. All these reports of injuries related to UFOs. So again, one more reason why we need UFO disclosure. These projects are so secretive that people, can't even get the restitution they need for their injuries. But about the recent cases, there are signs for encouragement. These gentlemen are actually going to Congress to get that.
Introduced the Protect Act and the Forgotten Veterans Act, and the vets invited to a congressional roundtable after ranking member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, Representative Mark Takano, saw our story.
How we can get our service connection for things like left brain atrophy, where the left side of my brain is dying, my brain cyst that I have, the 20 tumors throughout my body, including my thyroid and lungs, my vestibular problems. I can't service connect this. We all know that worked up there, that this will be our cause of death.
His message landing.
Every American who saw the story that the expose that you all did on Dave Crete and the Area 51 veterans should make them angry and should make them want to demand that that our government does something.
Well, hopefully they will do something, guys, because this can't go on much longer. And, you know, one more reason why we need UFO disclosure, one of many, so that we can openly acknowledge these programs that they still can't talk about today. Again, I don't know if this was UFO related or not, or, related to any exotic technology. But they were, involved in some classified stuff that they still can't talk about. Who knows what that is, but they have had nuclear testing in there for a long time. Again, I suspect that's probably what we're talking about. But the projects they were working on were so secret, they were, they can't even acknowledge them, which is why they are having trouble getting these benefits. So whether it's directly UFO related or not, it's still tangential to the topic. As I've shown, there's a long history of UFO illnesses and people trying to get compensation for those illnesses from the U.S. government. As of to date, I think only John Burroughs has had any luck, and that was with the direct intervention of a senator. So hopefully these guys will get the restitution that they deserve, that they will get their, benefits covered. But a lot of them have already died and are still dying. The report talks about how the government may simply be trying to wait them out because so many of them are dying. It's just heartbreaking, guys. So yeah, let me know what you think about it all. Go check out the full video, and there's an updated video as well. And I will link to that. Now like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, guys. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.